With Word Edit, you can edit a large area of blocks and create amazing builds way faster than if you would build it normally. So in this video, I will show you the basics of Word Edit, why we build this valley, so you will know when to use what commands. But first, I'm gonna show you the really basic stuff, so I don't have to explain everything when we build the valley. So let's start. You will need the selection tool, which you can get to the //1 command, and you can select areas with it by left clicking on the first point and right clicking on the second point. You can also select areas with the push 1 and push 2 commands. And you can edit these selected areas. With the cut command, you can remove the selected area and copy it to your clipboard. And with the set command, you can fill the selection, then just write a block to fill it. If you made a mistake or changed your mind, you can undo it with the undo command. And if you write a number behind it, then in this case it will undo the last 5 things that I've done. If you accidentally use the undo command, you can redo the thing with the redo command, and you can also write a number behind it to redo more things at once. But just keep in mind that not everything can be undone, for example falling sand. You can replace a certain block with another block in the selection with the replace command. First you have to write what block you wanna replace, and then write the block you wanna replace with. Wow, it looks much better. You can move the selection with the cut and paste commands. So first select it, then cut, and then paste. And also pay attention to where you're standing when you use the cut command, because when you paste the selection, it will spawn relatively to you. If you wanna duplicate the selection, you can do it with the copy and paste commands. And again, pay attention to where you're standing when you use the copy command. You can also rotate your selection with the rotate command, but first you have to either copy it or cut it. Rotate 90 degrees and paste. You can also flip it. Again, first you have to either cut it or copy it, then write flip and paste. Yeah, some blocks get weird if you do this. If you wanna duplicate a bunch of stuff quickly, for example this road piece, then use the stack command. Just select the area, then write stack, then how many times do you wanna copy it, and then in what direction you wanna stack it. And here are some useful things. You can see what blocks are in the selection with the distro command. There is also a far one that can select the second point from far away. With the center command you can put blocks in the center of your selection. With the faces command you can create a box around your selection. With the up one command you can create a block underneath you. You can select an entire chunk with the chunk command. With the walls command you can create walls around your selection. With the pyramid command you can create a pyramid, just write block and the size. And you can also create a bunch of shapes with this method, for example spheres, cylinders. And if you put an H before the shape, then it will make it hollow. Okay, so with the basics done, I'm gonna show you how to actually use these commands in a build. We're gonna build a valley as I showed you before, so let's start with the mountain. We're gonna mostly use brushes for this, because it's really easy to use and you can make a bunch of stuff with it. You just have to apply a brush to a tool and that's it. And if you don't want a brush on your tool, just use brush and bind. So first, choose a tool. With the tool in your hand, write brush or BR for short. Then you have to write the shape of your brush. For a mountain or any natural build, I recommend a sphere. Then choose a block, and then the size of your brush. You can even use multiple blocks to brush with. Just write a comma and the other block. And you can use multiple blocks in almost any command. If you wanna make a block more common than the other in your brush, just put a percentage before the block. As you can see, this looks awful. So we're gonna use sand instead of stone, because sand has gravity and it will look much more natural. And when the shape is done, we're gonna replace the sand with stone. And if you manage to get stuck while building, you can use the ascend and descend commands to get out. So the shape of it is almost done, but as you can see the floor looks quite bad, so we're gonna fix that. First choose a tool. then write BR smooth and the radius, and this will smooth out the floor. So we don't actually want these hills here, so we're gonna get rid of them with the BR lower command. Just choose a shape and the radius and it will lower the ground for you. Or if you want more hills, you can use the raise command. Alright, now we are done with the shape, so we're gonna replace the sand with stone and the Zeitgen cobblestone. Okay, now we need grass, so let's make a huge cylinder of sand, and then we're gonna replace that sand with grass. And we can do this with the sil command. First you have to write what block you want the cylinder to be, then the radius. Okay, maybe not this much sand, it took like 30 minutes to fall, so try to make a few smaller cylinders and try to use math when you do this. So now let's replace the sand with grass blocks. Okay, now we need grass on our grass blocks. We can do this by dropping sand again and replacing it with grass, tall grass, air and some flowers. And make sure that the sand isn't on top of each other, because when you replace it with grass, this will happen. Alright, the sand has fallen, now let's replace it. And now we wanna replace the dirt with grass blocks. We can do this with the green command, and after that just write a radius. And it looks amazing! Okay, maybe the flower is too much. And now I'm gonna show you how to put down trees and forests easier. You can do it the easy way and not so good way, like this. Get a new tool, brush, forest, then the shape, then the size, then the density, and then the type of tree you want. And you can mess with the radius and the density to create more trees at once. Yeah, they don't look so good and you can't even undo it, so I recommend doing it the hard way, which is downloading or building custom trees. If you already have some custom trees in another word, go to that word and select it, then copy it, save it as a schematic with this command and name it something. Then go back to your word, load your schematic with this command and the name that you gave, and paste it. But as you can see, it pasted the air with the tree, and we don't want that, so we can get rid of the air with the paste -a command. And with this method you can copy anything between words, your house, your castle, etc. The trees that we used are in the description, and with the download you get all the schematics, so you just have to paste it. But first you have to move your schematic files to your World Edit folder. So let's copy this, and here is the World Edit folder, then config, World Edit, and schematics, and paste it here. So in the tree word, when you got the tree you like, look at the code and the name, then go back to your word, write schematic list, then find your tree here, and when you got that, click this add button and then paste the tree. But put a -a at the end so it wouldn't paste the air with it. Now, this could take a lot of time to make a forest like this, but I think it's way better than normal trees. I mean, just look at this. And if you wanna make really big forests, then I recommend using Word Painter. And it's way easier to create absolutely massive things in Word Painter than in Word Edit. If you change your mind and you don't want a certain tree, you can remove it with a new tool, brush, sphere, air, and then the size. Then mask out the materials that the tree is made out of. So for me it's mask, oak wood, oak leaves. And now the brush will only work on these materials. And now I'm gonna show you how to make a river. So let's make the shape of the river with a lower brush. Now let's make it a little better, so let's smooth it out with a smooth brush. Now let's change the floor from stone to sand, so let's do it with a sand brush, then mask it to stone. Now let's put some water into the river, so select the river on the Y level where you want the water. Then replace the air with water. If you made some mistakes or the water looks weird, you can fix it with the fix water command and just write a radius. We want fishes in our river, but for that we need to change the biome. So first select the area, then set biome and the biome you want, so for me it's ocean. and then you have to reopen your Word to see the changes. And now I'm gonna show you how to make caves. We need a few tools for this, so I'm gonna start with a brush that looks like our mountain. So it's stone, andesite and cobblestone. Then an identical tool to this, but put air in it with a small percentage. And mask it to the blocks that the mountain is made out of. Then a simple airbrush. Alright, then make a new tool, just instead of the air use iron ore or any other ore that you want. Then mask it to whatever the mountain is made out of. Then just start digging with the air tool and sometimes put it back with your mountain brush to make it look more natural. After that you can use the brush that has ores in it. And the brush that has a little bit of air in it to make the cave more unsymmetrical. And then just fix some things by hand to make it more natural, and we made the cave in less than 10 minutes. Alright, so now we want some snow on top of the mountain, but first we have to remove the grass, so let's make an airbrush and mask it to grass and flowers. So now without the grass you can now put some snow down, just write snow and radius. And if you want more snow, you can even replace the dirt and the grass blocks with snow blocks. Alright, now let's do some adjustments. So we can replace a bit of grass with azaleas. So a brush that has mostly grass in it and some azaleas, then just mask it to grass. Now I could have put some azaleas down when I made the grass, but I don't want that much of them, that's why I'm doing it like this. And you can put some plants in the river, just select the river and replace the water with mostly water, some seagrass and sea pickles, and kelp if you want, but sometimes kelp doesn't break when it's floating. So it's up to you if you wanna use it or not. And you can get rid of the floating items with this command. So now I will show you how to build a floating island. First make a forest brush and use large oaks. And make something like this. Then turn everything into sand. Then stone. Now let's copy it, then flip it, and paste. And it probably won't be perfect, so just fix some things by hand. And now let's put some grass and trees on the island, and it's done. And our valley is done. And thanks for watching, I hope you learned something new. Bye!